another exciting issue of Cowls. This is issue 26, and today we're going to be talking about all things E3. As always, I am Chris, joined by
Cody,
August,
Mike,
and it is officially the end of day one, or I guess technically day two.
Yeah.
It is Sunday evening. We've had EA's conference, Microsoft, and Bethesda. So we're just going to do a brief little wrap-up for the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's been a little bit of all three. So I guess we'll start with EA, since that was yesterday. Any bright spots, dark spots, anybody want to talk about?
A lot of sports, of course.
Yeah,
EA.
I mean,
They flashed us a little bit of Anthem, but they left that for Microsoft because some people have been saying it's not an exclusive, but it looks like it's supposed to be an exclusive for Microsoft, which would be good because that's where they're hurting at is their exclusive stuff.
True story.
And then, of course, Battlefront 2, which looks a lot like Battlefront 1, but they've twisted it just a little enough to change it up just a little bit. No season pass, no $50 add-on day one purchase of to
free
wait
DLC. Pretty excited for
wait
that.
6 months for a DLC pack to come out, which begs to differ. How are they gonna get their in-game revenue, which will probably be microtransactions, possibly? Spend $5, get a loot box, open it up. Hey, here's a blaster for you and a skin for Darth Maul or something. So
That would be cool.
yeah.
and then we got I guess Need for Speed, the Fast and Furious edition.
Yep.
We cracked that joke yesterday, and then we watched the recap or whatever, and IGN cracked the same joke.
Way to go, IGN. Stop stealing our material.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Star Wars Battlefront 2, I really can't help but think that on the first Star Wars Battlefront, they kind of threw the game, like, just to sell this copy. Because, I mean, everything is on there, and they're really, like, pandering to the video opened up with it showing, like, all the, kind of like how they do on, real trailers or whatever. And it, like, showed, like, all the little pop-ups of people saying, like, there needs to be a story mode, we answered your prayers, and all that, and it... Yeah, you could have put a story mode in at any time, so now I feel like you pretty much created the question just so you could answer it.
Yeah, I feel like
games,
they did it just half-assed with the first one. It was like, oh, Episode 7's coming out and everything like that. Let's slap Star Wars on our brand and start selling it. And, like, we can just give them multiplayer because that's what everyone's been like, Battlefront 3, like, it's gonna happen, right? And so they were like, here's Battlefront 2015, go screw yourself. And then it was like... Now we create the sequel and make more money, all of the money.
And I think a lot of the reason it did get half-assed was just to make it in time for the Star Wars films coming out. EA just recently, got the exclusivity for all the Star Wars games, because obviously we saw a lot of cancellations when that happened. So I think that's exactly what happened, is they just needed to get something out.
To hold on to
so
the rights.
It's probably a less of, oh, we actually listened to the fans. It's probably more of a, we rushed Battlefront. The new reboot.
I guess the last DLC pack that they did for the season pass or whatever, that's where it really turned around or whatever, and everyone kind of went back to it, and they released the Ultimate Edition of Battlefront, and it was like the second wind of what it kind of should have been. And this is Battlefront 2 this is what Battlefront should have been the entire time.
Yeah. And Battlefront 2 looked incredible. Like, seeing Darth Maul go flip-flopping around, that's as close as we're going to get to that canceled Darth Maul game. As, we brought up cancels a little bit earlier. And that looks like a lot of fun. It like jumping from character to character when you die, like, that's Battlefront to me. Flying around in the ships looks pristine. Like, it actually looks like it functions really, really well. And, but man, when it showed, like, the first person of it, I couldn't help but think, like, that's just Call of Duty. Like, it didn't stand out to me as, like, a Star Wars game. Like, it just seemed like a Star Wars skin.
Like, not the original Battlefront series,
right,
but, like, that's how the Battlefront, was it 2016 it came out originally? It's 2015.
Yeah, it was 2015. it's something that even the first two Battlefront had. There was a first-person mode to it, but that wasn't the default setting for it. So it was like, oh, this is a third-person shooter. So they've got both modes just to bring in that like Call of Duty clientele that's like, oh, we prefer first-person shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's not alienating like, oh, I don't play it because it's first person, or I don't play it because it's not third person or whatever. So
I like having the option.
Yeah.
I mean, same with Fallout.
I like the option as well. I'm always going to lean towards third person, but I do like the option of having it.
I lean more towards first person.
It depends on, like, with Battlefront, Gears of War, those are really the games that I play in third person. Any other kind of, like, Call of Duty or Fallout, I can do first person, but it just... And Skyrim, I guess I prefer in third person. Like, I don't like doing that. Unless I'm shooting my bow, I don't go into first person too much when I'm playing Skyrim. Yeah. But every other game I do mostly in first person, so...
What else did you... A Way Out was one of the only, like, new things that they showed.
Yeah. That looked awesome.
Yeah, it Shawshank the game. I mean, it's what it kind of looked like.
Well, yeah, it seemed to be pretty original with some of the ideas they were will it actually be as good as what they were showing off? Probably not, but, you know, the ideas are there.
Yeah.
And you have to play it co-op. Like,
that's great.
Like, there's no single-player aspect. You have to play this with somebody else.
I have a buddy that the bassist in my band. You know, like me and him always do co-op games together. So like, while I was watching that, I was like, okay, it looks like me and Espinales are playing through, you know, this game.
Yeah.
Just instantly, it was just understood to me that I'm buying that game. You know,
It was a very cool concept. They brought up the fact that you have to keep an eye out for your co-op partner. Like, you're in prison trying to get out, so if you're off doing your own thing, like, oh, I'm gonna go, like, steal this shiv here and everything like that, but if he gets in a fight and everything, like, you need to be aware of it and keep checking your surroundings and make sure that he's getting what he needs to as well, so the plan can go off and you get out and go do whatever and everything like that. It felt very Shawshank of, we're gonna get out, and then... You know, he's going to go see his wife that's in the hospital who just gave birth to the baby, and, oh, that's my daughter, too, and then the whole on the run in the woods and stuff and everything. So, I mean, really it was very Prison Break. Yes, like, it was...
I mean, it's interesting enough that I want to see more on it.
Yeah.
And if the final product is anything like this first look, it's something I'll definitely check out. I don't know if I'm going to spend 100 hours on it, but I could definitely see spending a weekend on it with
like I would say, like Cody said, that's whenever we first thought it was like, oh, Batman and Nightwing were escaping from prison, like it's a co-op game, and that's something that there's not a lot of. I mean, there's a lot, I guess, but there's not a game that really is like co-op. Like, you need your partner, like you need to like watch each other's backs. Yeah. There's that like arm lock and lock back to back, like climbing up like a shaft or something like that. It's like, this is one of the heaviest, like, team-based games I've seen in a long time.
Since Army of Two, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no option but to play this with another person.
Yeah.
I can't think of another game. And, I mean, even Army of Two, you could do it with...
you could do it with the AI.
Yeah, so,
but that was, like, the most horrible way to do it, you know?
Yeah. So, I can't think of another game that requires you to have another person. So, I'm kind of excited. I mean, it's something different. It's not something we see every day. So,
especially from EA, you know?
Yeah. It really sucks that we've been burned so many times with E3s that people get excited, but they kind of like take it with a grain of salt. Like you were saying earlier, like if that's the final product, that'd be great, but we know that that's not the final product, and that's seriously just based on experience alone. Because it's like it's just sad to me. Like, you know, how about you just give us that version? You know, don't show it if that's not that version.
'Tis not the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm trying to...
1 out of 5, what do you give EA?
I give it a meh.
5 is top, 1 is bottom.
Because of Battlefront 2 looking a lot cleaner, them fixing a few things, the free season pass, we'll see what they do with like microtransactions and stuff, but I'd give it like a solid 3.5.
Wow.
Actually, something I'm a little sad we didn't bring up is something I love is theatrics and like how the press conferences look and how they flow. This was so awkward. Like the timings on stuff, the pacing and stuff. Like they had like some YouTuber out who's just freaking awful. Just
iJustine and Golden Boy or something like that, and then like one of the developers for
We love those
Battlefront or
people,
whatever.
though.
And then
We're on YouTube. We have to say we love them.
Yeah, I am sure they're amazing at their craft, but being that was my first outing with them, like, as an overall conference, I'm not going to say they were bad, because, I mean, that's, if they asked one of us to do an E3 press conference, it would probably
well,
be the exact
no.
same.
And then like that's the thing with Shiva as well. Like she got on stage and she, like, because they were like, hey, you're gonna be the anti-hero or whatever of this story, since we're like talking about the Empire and stuff, and she was just like, I'm so excited, but I really don't play video games, so I don't know, like, what's, like, it's new and shiny, guys, look at the sheen, like...
It just came off very awkward.
Yeah,
you know,
a
like,
very,
no matter what.
hello, fellow kids kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you
Hey, we're
notice,
just a
like,
bunch
the
of kids.
first, like, YouTuber guy who's like, I'm a YouTube content creator, and I'm here to show off, blah, blah, blah. You could tell that they were having... It wasn't either rehearsed very well, or they were having, like, teleprompter issues, because, like, he, like, botched it, and he knew he botched it, and he, like, pointed out, like, what the hell, dude?
Mhm.
Yeah. But anyways, but back to a rating, I gotta give it. It's hard. I want to give it a 3 just for Star Wars alone, because we kind of knew we were getting just bombarded with all these sports games that are gonna.
No, that was.
Yeah, if you don't know you're gonna get sports at EA, then how is that rock you live under?
Yeah.
Is it spacious, sprint controlled?
I was kind of
Just the
hoping we would have got something more from them. Like I would have loved to see a new skate game. I don't know. It was just a very safe EA conference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a very safe one for sure.
So it's just a solid 3.
Right on.
Cody?
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit higher and give it a 4. Not because I was just so incredibly excited, but because, let me level with you for a little bit. If you know me, you know I am not a sports guy whatsoever. So, I like sports entertainment. But not really like true to blue sports, really in the slightest. So, I never really watch the E3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care to, because I know what it's going to be. It's FIFA, Madden, NBA, just one of the 3-letter sports games that I personally just don't play. I've seen the appeal of them, and they look incredible. And the car racing games, the racing games, the car-based games, always look incredible, like best graphics on the system. But those aren't the games I play. So I mean, I'm sure I can't really say it's ever a crap press conference. That's like saying like it was a crappy CMT awards. Like, I don't like country music, so
Yeah.
So like I'm not really one to say if it was good or bad, because I don't really like the product. But I'm giving it a 4 just based on the fact that this was the first E3 I liked solely on Star Wars. Like it made me want to buy Star Wars Battlefront 2. And like the first one I was like, yeah, it looks pretty dope, but I'll give it a shot. But this one I'm like pretty excited about.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't in there, I wouldn't have watched it at all. So the fact that it brought someone in that doesn't really care, that didn't really care about their it made someone care about it that didn't ever really care about their other conferences. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Thank you. Okay. I was going to give it a 2.5, but I don't want to be like the salty, grumpy guy, so I'm going to round it up to a 3.
See, and I give my 3 because I gotta go, kind of like Cody, I've got to go a little easier on him, because, I'm gonna be more...
we knew that we were expecting half of that to be sports.
And I'm gonna be more hostile to those games I don't care about.
Yeah.
Sure,
honestly.
and look, I play Madden every year.
Yeah.
I like football. I'm a football guy. I know I'm in the minority here. I don't care about soccer in the least. I think it's one of the most boring sports in the world.
I think it's like one of the best selling sports.
It's
it's got a legacy to it.
Yeah, they don't even need time to it for it to sell well.
Yeah.
I just don't care about that sport, but I do like football. But I know what I'm getting with football. Okay, I'm going to get updated rosters, better graphics. little bit shinier presentation, it's still going to be a football game.
Mhm.
You don't really have to tell me that.
You're getting a story mode now.
I'm not going to play it at all. You know what I do with Madden? What I still do with Madden 17? But I don't have enough time to really dive into a game I want to play. You know, say the wife's coming home, we got to go grocery shopping or something. I got 15 minutes. I'll throw an exhibition game of Madden just to kill the time.
Yeah.
I've never done the Ultimate Team stuff. I don't do any of that. I just do the...
But now you can start off in middle school and work your way up to...
don't really want to, and I never will. But anyways, I digest.
Don't we all?
We do. Star Wars
Except
has
for
got
August, he
great
regurgitates.
potential. I really hope that it's the game that we should have got last time. I feel like Star Wars is just so big that it's just popular. Like it is just Star Wars. You say Star Wars, everybody goes crazy. There's no
Oh yeah,
about it.
I made this metaphor with you about Batman. Is you look over at some Pop-Tarts, you might be like, oh yeah, Pop-Tarts. I don't really need them for $8.
Yeah.
But you throw a Batman symbol on it, you're getting those Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Same with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You throw like the Rebel Alliance logo on a Pop-Tart.
Denise is
Somebody's
buying
like,
them.
I gotta have it. Yeah.
Yeah, Denise is buying all of them.
True story.
If it would have been a different Star Wars game, I would have been like, kind of on the fence. But it's Battlefront. I played the PS2 version.
Right.
Oh,
Like, I loved
absolutely.
it, like, a bunch. So it's like, you kind of burned me on the first one. I'm going to give you a second shot on the second one, so...
But its three biggest improvements is it will have a campaign,
Yeah.
which, let's excuse the fact that it's a prequel to The Force Awakens, and I hate prequels. We know what happens. What's the point? It's prequel, but it does have a story, so that's good. It has free DLC, and they've eliminated the stupid, like...
Spawn token things.
Yeah.
Like, Vader's going to spawn here some randomly point, and someone's going to get lucky. It's... You get some kills, you take an objective, you get points for that, you spend your points, and you can become Darth Maul or
Tank,
Boba Fett
or
the Super Droid and everything like
Yeah.
that. And it's not just limited to, oh, you can only be this one hero character, so you're not running with like 30 Darth Mauls on one team.
Yeah.
And
I gotta ask a question, and I'm genuinely asking this. Okay.
Okay.
Again, you guys know this. I'm late to the game when it comes to news and all that stuff. So during her press conference, she said, I'm pretty sure, maybe I was wrong, but she says the story mode will link Return of the Jedi to
The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about... I'm an idiot, never mind.
Okay.
Were you thinking about Rogue One?
I was thinking about Phantom Menace. So I was like, so where are those movies? So I'm retarded. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
this is... I mean, it shows
I'll
it
leave
in
you
the
alone. I'll
cinematic
be over
trailer that they showed off first was the Death Star on Endor because the special team was getting
That's where
there.
they are.
And it
blows
blew up.
Okay,
so
yeah.
it takes place from after
For
that.
some reason, I was
to-
thinking. I mean, it was after, but not.
Well, they showed the
canonical-
gameplay
yeah.
of the taking of Theed and everything like that, which was in the Phantom Menace. So
I think what threw me off is Darth Maul, like kicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So I
like,
was just
hey,
like,
we're
what-
gonna
what-
talk
what?
about the link between 6 and 7, but we're gonna show you gameplay from Episode 1. Like,
Now, I will...
Yeah.
I
It's kind
will
of hard to follow. Like it
recant
confused me.
just a touch, because there's so much we don't know with the new trilogy, and we've only had one movie.
yeah,
Like, we don't know, we don't know the outcome of all these characters yet. So it being a story that links the two still does give some leeway for story development, for things. Because Shiva, I don't know her name in the game, she could, in theory, show up in one of the Star Wars movies.
yeah,
Because it's not like when we got
a Rogue
the prequels or Rogue One, we
Yeah.
knew how it ended. We knew at the end Anakin becomes Vader. Spoiler alert, my bad. There was no like mystery to what the end of Episode 3, how it was going to end. At least with this game, there is the possibility that something could happen because we don't know the fate of all the characters. I mean, Lando. He's the only one I can think of. But so there's a
Lando,
possibility of something.
other guys.
Dude, whatever.
It's a trap guy.
Yeah. So at least there is that
Akbar.
little possibility that something important could happen in this game that could carry on to the movies, or we don't just instantly know the fate of all the characters before it even starts.
yeah.
Real quick, you know what I always thought would be funny is if on one of the they did another prequel and one of the commanders was a Rancor, and at the end of it he ended up getting bought by
By some fat dude.
Yeah, it was by the fat dude.
Weird, like, fur hood thing. Or
by Jabba.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I got plans for you, boy.
It's what we gonna do.
And he fell in love with the pig dude, and the pig dude, like, took him home.
Come on, let's go live in this this pit. It'll be fun.
Started eating all the other pig dudes.
That's what you do. Alright, so that was Saturday. That was EA. And then today, on Sunday, we got Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
But before we got Microsoft, they actually just kind of surprised us and dropped a couple trailers. We got gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3.
That we did, which was surprising. I knew that they were talking that they were going to show gameplay, but to show it before Xbox's conference was a little weird. I figured we would see that right before Sony. Like, Sony would come out and be like, hey, here's some gameplay that you've been waiting for.
I'm wondering if it leaked and, Sony was just capitalizing on it before.
And I could have sworn that with one of the trailers they took out Xbox One, but this trailer showed Xbox One again.
Very true.
So, because there was a lot of talk at some point, like a couple of months ago or whatever, it was like, yeah, no, it's just going to be a PS4 game now, which was no surprise, but this trailer was like, hey, Xbox One as well.
The one trailer I saw didn't show Xbox One.
This latest trailer that they just showed today or yesterday or whatever showed Xbox One and PS4 at the end of it.
No, because the one I watched on the Sony the PlayStation Facebook page didn't have the logo at the end.
Well, if it's on the PlayStation page,
but it still have coming to.
Yeah. No, I know the one that we saw, that we watched on YouTube today.
The one that we saw today had all of them on there.
With Japanese James Wood.
Because I thought it was really weird that it didn't have, coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One.
I just think it's adorable that when Pete started talking in that trailer, that you were just like, "What?
That's not Pete, boys. What's going on here?
Why is he talking all gibberish?"
I don't know them English
Is Pete
words.
drunk?
Oh, Pete. Yeah, I haven't played very much of the Kingdom Hearts games. I'm definitely not as feverish as you guys are of the fandom of Kingdom Hearts. My anticipation for this game is relatively low, and I feel bad that you guys have been waiting for this game.
I haven't. I stopped waiting for it. I know... I'm Christian too, so I know Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to come out, and I know the Rapture is going to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen first. So,
well, let's hope it's the game before the other one, where we might not get to play it. So yeah, I thought it looked cool. Just as somebody that knows very little about the story. I mean, I know about the story, but that knows little of what's going on. I thought it looked cool. I thought the combat was fast and
beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool. And him calling that thing and it dropping down, so he's spinning the blade and it's putting all the shards or sparks or whatever.
Yeah.
All the bad guys. That was a great description, guys. I just painted a picture in your minds. You're welcome.
The guy spin on the thing and then the shards and then the bad guys were like, woo!
They were like, ah,
the gameplay showed Olympus stuff, so it actually showed the Olympus Mountain and with the gods and stuff and the Rock Titan and stuff like that, and it looked like there might have been a limit form with Hercules or whatever, because he had a golden jacket on, and then his shield was doing a move related to him and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it looks like they may have incorporated a new limit form to include the special character that you get on each world.
That boss fight with Atlas looked really cool.
And then
with the two-headed Titan.
They showed I think that little glimpse, and then they told us July 15th with Disney's Expo, which is probably they'll give us a little bit more info.
Yeah. New trailer and new world.
New world, new gameplay trailer. Probably no release date, obviously, or anything like that. There's been rumors that they may release it episodical, kind of like Hitman and stuff like that. Release it in chunks.
That's a bad idea.
Which, no.
Well, because that's what they're talking for the 7 remake.
Yeah, the 7 remake, and that's, I guess, how Square's thinking about doing that with all games now or whatever. That's supposed to be some best marketing strategy for their games now, but it didn't do too hot for Hitman, and they just tried to sell Hitman off or something like that. So
yeah, but that's Hitman. I think 7. You release anything with Cloud on it, it's going to sell.
Oh yeah,
it is. But hey, here's a chunk of the game. You can play that and run around here for hours on end, but you can't go anywhere past this point. That's. And how long is it going to be for episode 1 and then episode 2? Is it going to be 6 months? Is it going to be a year and a half till you get episode 2? Like,
yeah, if Square...
It's going to be redundant if it's like, oh, yeah, you know, it took us 10 years to get episode 1 ready, so here's another 15 years and you get episode 2. Like,
yeah, it's going to take, like, if Square takes its sweet time like they like to, man, you'll see, like, the sales drop considerably by the third one.
Either that or we'll get a new reboot of the game before.
Yeah. And then they're going to release, like, a collection.
Yeah.
Just wait till it's done and just put it out. If it takes 2 or 3 more years, that's fine. I think episodic's a dumb way to go. But
it certainly is.
Not my
That's
decision.
A whole other thing.
What we said about that is, if you're going to do it episodical, it needs to be a very story-based driven game like Telltale. Telltale does it episodically, but it's like you're watching a TV show. It's like point A, point B, episode done, cliffhanger, and then when you start episode 2, it's like last time on, and it recaps it and everything like that. But that's just a very story-based driven game. Nobody plays that for the gameplay. They play it because they want to play/watch an episode of Walking Dead or Guardians of the Galaxy side story and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think with an RPG and I can't see how it would work. I mean, with exploration and grinding and just all the stuff you could do.
Episode 1 comes out. Is there going to be a level cap, or am I going to be able to play episode 1 and grind in 99, and then episode 2 come out and have no challenge to it? Like,
you're just backhanding everybody. Get out of here. So, hopefully we'll get some answers at Sony's press conference.
Mm-hmm.
We probably won't. Maybe we'll get laughed at, but we'll see. So, Microsoft. They did their conference.
Yeah.
Today. Obviously the biggest thing that came out of it was the Xbox One X. Box One X.
That beautiful,
Box
beautiful
One
name.
X. Yep, no longer the Scorpio. Now it's...
The X!
We're just going to call it the One X. Because Xbox One X is a dumb name. Comes out November 7th for the not surprising price tag of $500.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. 400 I think probably would have been more ideal. And, you know,
it's too much.
Well, 400 is realistic for what they put in there.
Well, I'm saying like 5 is too much. But
5's not bad, especially if you're going to see... You know, with the native 4K, being able to do native 4K...
The liquid cooling...
you know, if a lot of games are going to start running at 60 frames a second, that's going to be a huge thing.
It looks like a lot of games, November 7th, when the system launch, like Gears of War 4, their big AAA titles, are getting the 4K upgrade, like PlayStation.
Yeah, the free upgrade, that's
like
pretty
that.
dope.
So, it's not surprising that they said 500 because, I mean, that's what a lot of people were speculating. So anything more, people would have had their pitchforks ready and Microsoft would have just tanked. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Anything cheaper than that, people probably would have dropped their pants and just been like, oh my gosh, yes, like...
I feel like if it had
crazy,
been too cheap, people would have assumed it was garbage.
Yeah.
Too expensive, people would have just been mad.
Turn their nose up at it.
500 is expensive, but if it's... I think the hardware is worth $500 if the software
that's
is there.
That's going to be a big thing, because if all I'm getting is, you know, just a little better textures, you know, but you don't improve any of the frame rate issues that the Xbox One has right now, it's not worth your money.
And that's the dev kit that they sent out or whatever. It had the 60 frame counter on it, like on the front display thing to show that the game's running at 60 frames or whatever. They kind of solved their exclusive issue. Not so. I mean, they had a bunch of exclusives out there. Some of them looked really cool. Some of them look like just third-party indie developers and stuff like that were just like, hey, this is Xbox and stuff. So
I don't know. The $500 price tag still seems a little steep to me, as I don't have a 4K TV. Well, so I mean, they're selling consoles and TVs right now.
And that's a nice thing, and hopefully, because like with the PlayStation Pro, if you don't have a 4K TV, it is definitely not worth buying, because from my understanding, a lot of the like patches for it, if you're just running it at 1080, your performance just tanks for whatever reason, because it's having to downscale. Now apparently this has some sort of architecture in it that like downscales it and makes it look better, I guess.
Yeah.
but apparently not mess with the performance. But again, that's something we'll have to see when it comes out.
Right.
Microsoft said a lot of fancy words.
They sure did.
They said
they said
teraflops and
I mean, and that means
and suplexes.
that means a lot. Like, I'm a little more computer savvy when it comes to that, and still, even that's a little above my head.
Yeah.
So most people, I'm sure there are some nerds with like raging boners, but
Yeah, the problem is it all of a sudden turned into like an episode of Star Trek, where like all this technical jargon was being thrown out. But the big difference is we didn't have another guy saying it in layman's terms.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they were so tech talky about it.
well, and a lot of people like that.
They do, but
they tried to sound super techy and super superior to PlayStation.
And that's what it was.
I'm an older guy, and I remember blast processing. So
this is supposed to be the most powerful console system out there, and by like 40% and stuff like that.
Sure,
so
I'm sure that here it may already be online that Microsoft will release something that's a little more parent friendly, because as three of us know, working with the public and selling them these things, if mom comes in and she's like, why should I buy them? And be like, it's got 6 teraflops. She's going to be like, I don't know what that is, and that word scares me. It's too big.
And this console...
It being X and S, when they're like, oh, I'm looking for the Xboxes, and it's like, this one, like, or do you want this one?
Here's why I'm not too worried about that. And well, maybe we're not supposed to, maybe this is a trade secret or whatever, we don't call it the 1S. We call it the Slim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never called it the S.
You haven't, but they're like,
the Slim.
When 7-year-old Timmy is just like, oh, I want the Xbox One S. And then mom, dad comes in, they're like, we're looking for the S model or whatever, like the Xbox S. Like, I've had people ask me that.
Sure,
like,
and I'm not as worried about that. I mean, it's a little close to Wii and Wii U for my taste, but it's still the same system, just not as powerful, so it's not going to be quite as confusing.
It's going to be, oh, that's going to be $500, or it's going to be $250, and then they're going to ask why it's so different. It's going to be basically, do you have a 4K TV? No. Then that one will be fine. If you plan on upgrading all your stuff, this will make it look super shiny.
Yeah.
Well, I can really look at that one as a consumer, because I'm not a Microsoft guy either. This definitely sold me on it, though. Like, now, I mean, halfway through the presentation, and I'm sitting there being like, okay, well, if I go to a video game store, then I could probably pre-order it. I have till November to pay it off. Like, I could make this happen. Yeah. But, honestly, like, when they started throwing out the technical jargon, as a consumer, I just kind of got a little confused, and I was like, okay, so if I bought a 1S... would that be a waste of time? Should I have gotten the X? Or is an X based on, everything that is outputting like my TV and all my setup, is there really no point in buying an X? Should I have gotten the S? Are some of these games not going to work on the S? Like, there's just too many things I don't know right now.
I think everything's gonna work on the S and the X.
No, yeah, there's not gonna be any, like, this Gears of War game only works on the X version of the Xbox. It's all gonna be... And they kind of showed that off in the conference. It was like, oh, like, don't worry. If you have, your Xbox One accessories for the S and everything like that, like your headsets and controllers, it's all, like, backwards compatible. It'll work for it. So don't... Like, there's no fancy new controller that has 2 3.5 audio jacks that have to be plugged in this way for this to work or anything like that. So there's no...
Here's my concern about that. If I can buy Fortnite, which we'll talk about here in a minute, okay? I go buy Fortnite, put it in my Xbox One S, which I have. It's right behind you, Cody. People can't see who I'm talking to. I play it. It's great. November comes along, and here comes the One X. Is it going to be $250 better than the S?
Probably not.
Ooh, yeah.
Unless across the board, performance-wise, it's better. You're not getting big dips in your frame rate. You're not just having a lot, where if it loads faster, maybe, but that's just going to be to you. This is probably more for the enthusiast, the person who has to have the best looking thing. This is trying to, I think, bridge the gap between console gamers and PC gamers.
Yeah.
And another thing with all the technical jargon, if you remember like the big debates when they first announced the PS4 and the Xbox One, if you were online, a common argument was, well, the PS4 has X amount of more teraflops than the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
That often became a thing, so there is a segment that means something, and it's those enthusiasts who want the best picture, the best performance from it. This is not going to be for some mom buying it for their 6-year-old kid, though.
Yeah. Like everything's slowly taking that turn to 4K now. I mean, Minecraft is now getting a 4K update and everything like that, so it's still going to be its like blocky splotchiness, but that water is going to look like pristine,
beautiful.
like it's an Unreal Engine 4 like water
which
thing
is
and everything
great,
like that.
don't get me wrong. We're the next generation. I remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm from an era before cable. I'm from an era.
Generation X.
Yes,
It's coming back. You have to get it.
I can remember 2 TVs that weighed 300 pounds.
Because there were more wood than TV.
Yeah. Okay. I can remember when you watch TV and it just looked like it looked.
You were the
There was
remote
no making it
control.
look better. There was no making it look worse. It just
There
looked
was
like
making it look better, but you had to jiggle the cable.
Yeah, you know. Oh yeah, like if you had like a bad connection, oh that was the worst. It got a little snowy. So, and I remember. This is the example I'm going to use.
When Sody Pop cost a nickel.
I sure do.
Why don't you shut up, Mike?
I remember when this was all orange groves.
I love it when you say sody pop.
No, I can remember when HD was the new thing. Like, you know.
I remember when a flat screen made your game look like, holy crap,
Oh
like
my
this
gosh.
is the best it's ever gonna look.
Do you remember when it was still a tube TV, but it was a flat screen tube TV? Like, boom! That'd blow your mind right there. Anyways, I can remember for a long time, like, if you wanted the HD channels, like, that cost more with the cable package.
Yeah.
Like, you got standard def, but they were like
That was
5.
over 1,000 channels.
Yeah, like, these 5 channels are in high def, and the first thing I remember is wrestling, when it went HD. And all the spray tans looked awful. Like, they stopped pretty shortly thereafter because everybody was orange. Anyways, and we're there again, where right now 4K is the new hotness, and it's the expensive hardware, and it's the buzzword that tells you that this particular product is top of the line because it's got 4K. In a year, 2 years, it'll be just as standard as HD is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's a selling feature if you are a techie that has to be at the front of everything. Otherwise, just be patient. And it's not. Now, let me say this. I've tried to talk my wife twice into buying me a 4K TV. All right? So I'm not being sanctimonious.
Yeah, and see,
I'm
that's
guilty
like,
of it myself.
I've got a 4K TV right now, so I'll probably trade in my Xbox towards it, maybe, or sell it to a friend that doesn't have an Xbox that wants to get an Xbox just to play things like Sea of Thieves. That's coming out early next year now. We have kind of a release date on that, or a launch window.
I don't want to go too far off the beaten path, but just real quick, I heard a story today about you, Mike, going out into the wilderness and going on like a lovely little vacation out in the world and then getting mad because nothing was in 4K.
Oh yeah, no, reality, going out on a floating trip, the outside was not in 4K, and it was just terrible graphics, just overall. The sun was too bright, and I am now lobster skinned, so it was a terrible experience. Now I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get home in time for E3 to start up and everything like that to see if EA had any kind of new big thing, and really I guess that new big thing was just a way out, because we knew we were getting Battlefront 2 in sports.
And that Sea of Thieves, like, since you already brought that up, like that, wow.
Yeah, so, but like I've got the TV, so why not get a machine that can play it? You know, I know in, a year and a half or so it'll be like $100 off, or in the holiday they may have some bundle or something like that. But
well, I mean,
it's that same thing that you said, that I can pre-order it, so I'll put some money down, and I'll put some money down here and there. So it's not like I'm just like, oh, $500, yeah, no problem. It'll be like, oh, I've got some stuff I'm not playing, I'll trade it in here. Put some money down there, and by November I'll just have it paid off, and then I'll get to look at it and be like, oh, this is kind of nice and shiny. Will it be the biggest difference in the world? Probably not, but I've seen things like BVS, Suicide Squad, and 4K, and I'm like, it looks a little bit crisper. Like, it's just like, that does look nice and shiny. Like, it's just like, alright, so...
and it's not the resolution I'm more interested in. I want to know more about performance-wise.
Right.
Yeah.
Across the board, is it just going to be Xbox One exclusives that are going to really push the performance issues, or are we going to see third parties doing the same thing?
And I've seen, like, the cross-platform games don't really look... Well, like, they don't really look as good. Like, sometimes the Xbox One exclusives or the PlayStation exclusives just look very, very, very
I think the Xbox games will get a little more preferential treatment just because it's first party.
Yeah.
But Microsoft really doesn't have a lot of giant AAA, like Horizon Zero Dawn exclusives, so... They're going to need to partner with some third-party stuff like EA and everything like that if it is Anthem that's going to be exclusive or not or whatever, because frickin' half the people are like, oh no, it's coming to all the systems. Is it Sony fanboys that are just like, oh, it looks so cool, no, it has to be us for too. Like, it had, like...
Yeah.
Or is it a timed exclusive like Mass Effect 1 was, where it was an exclusive to Xbox and then it didn't go to PS3 until the trilogy came out?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could have an exclusive thing for that for a few years or whatever, but Microsoft is taking a small step in the right direction. They have a lot of ground to cover, and if the One X does everything that it needs to make the third-party games look shinier, then we'll see, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm not going to have to worry about the system taking a little drop in frame rate or anything like that, or worry about any kind of technical issues because of this. So, I would rather have... like Destiny launch on Xbox One as well, but give them the DLC first just because it runs better or smoother or whatever, so...
See, and that's a problem. Also, as a third party, you also got to remember, you've got to build a separate patch for this.
Yeah.
So,
patches for now, but, I mean... now that it's there, I'm sure, like, they've got the dev kits for it, so it's not gonna be a patch down the line.
Well, no. Like, because the way currently the PlayStation 4 one works, like, any new game comes just standard, but typically you have to download the new patch to get it to work for the Pro.
I thought that was just with all the older games. Like,
No.
games now, they have access to it that, like, they can, and if it's on a Pro, then it's enabled, but if not, then it just ran standard or whatever.
Because from my understanding...
Because there were games like Uncharted and Infamous that they could pay for that patch to get the 4K upgrade or whatever, but at the certain point, like, there's, like, so late, whenever it's so close to launch or whatever, that every game is just built like that.
Right, but from my understanding is still currently a lot of games that are coming out, you still have to get an extra patch to get the benefit out of it. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if developers are going to take advantage of it. If the install base isn't quite there at the beginning, we'll just have to see. Honestly, but I think it's probably time to move on because we're getting to the point where we're just beating this horse until it's hamburger.
Blue.
Right on.
All right.
What else do we got?
Well, let's go back to Sea of Thieves. How long ago did we see that? Was that...
That was last E3.
Year?
We
Or
talked
was that
about
2
that
years
last
ago?
year.
No, that was, I want to say, a 2013 E3 thing that they showed off. Was it not, for Sea of Thieves? Wasn't that one of the things that they showed off for... If it wasn't 2013, it was 14 then?
I feel like
it's been in development for frickin' ever.
Yeah, I feel like it's been in development for a while, but I only knew about it last year, to be honest. Like that's
same here.
But apparently, it's had a pretty big following, just all over the internet.
Let's see
and
here.
stuff.
I honestly didn't think it was that art style. I thought it was more realistic.
No, I kind of remembered it.
No, I remember
being
last year.
like-
Yeah, no,
kind of
it's-
a cell shaded.
It's
Okay.
I mean it's from Rare, I guess.
Okay.
Which isn't really
The same
Rare or whatever. Yeah,
you
like the
think
same
that-
Rare that did Yooka-Laylee. Like that's more Rare with the developers and stuff like that. It's got the name Rare, and it's still got that kind of like cartoony feel, like Banjo-Kazooie would and everything like that. But it's
But I kind of got concerned that we hadn't seen much in between like last year's E3 and this year's E3, that it got caught up in that like kind of cancellation cycle with like Scalebound and a few other things.
Yeah.
Because they canceled the Fable game, the like free to play
Fable
Fable
Legends.
game. Yeah.
They gutted that bad boy.
I checked
But don't
Wikipedia out.
We got a Fable card game coming.
Yeah, we do. And it looks like June 2015 is whenever it first showed. So it's been 2 years now.
Yeah.
Which was a year. I thought it was about 2014 maybe, so it looks like it was 2015, but I mean, they showed it off. The first thing that they showed was you can get on your ship and get into ship battles or go search for treasure or just sit in port and drinking rum and everything like that. And it was, like, it showed that. It showed a battle and everything like that. And then it just showed people just messing around in the port and everything like that. And then it was like, oh gosh, they're here. No, like, run to the ship. And then some dude was running on the shore like, oh god, don't leave me. Like, and so it just, like, you can be a pirate. Like, it's a full, almost kind of like a simulation game of, like, just doing whatever you want, what a pirate would do.
I'm wondering how MMO-y it's going to be. Like,
yeah, with this one, like you said, they really didn't show a HUD feature whenever they were swimming underwater and everything like that.
Yeah.
But whenever they went up for air, it was like like he was almost out of breath and stuff, like you do whenever you're like 25% less or whatever with like oxygen left or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it could be they haven't put that in yet.
Yeah.
They just didn't have it up there. It could just be that every time you surface it does that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
He's underwater for a long time.
I'm talking about like how often are you going to run into players? It's going to be kind of like Destiny, where there's only a few select, or is this world going to?
Can we play a private server where it's just AIs and stuff like that, where it's just us playing, or is it going to be online all the time, where we're like, hey, let's go search for treasure, and then we're just constantly being ambushed because that's the treasure spot that everyone wants to go to?
Well, because I was thinking while we were watching, I was like, man, we should get our crew going, and then that should just be what we do, is we just attack other people. Just evil pirates, and just go and attack, and just that's what we do. So I don't know,
Court-appointed infiltrations.
Sea of Thieves, probably the most excited game that they've shown at E3, with one exception, and we'll talk about that one in a moment.
Did we give the release date for Scorpio?
Yeah.
Or 1X? The
November
7th?
7th?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't remember.
That's the first thing I
because there's another game that's coming out November 7th that's pretty sure that one was, I guess, 14 when Phil Spencer took over, because that was one of his big points, because he was like,
well, no, that was 13, because
was it?
that was with the launch E3 with where they were still
the bad man that was like, you don't have online, get a 360.
Yeah, because they were talking about how Crackdown's going to take advantage of the cloud, and that's a reason why you need to be connected all the time.
But yeah, Crackdown 3, we have a release date, launches with the Xbox One X, November 7th. Big. I'm assuming what took it so long was Terry Crews.
Yeah.
You know.
Getting his contract right?
Terry Crews immediately took me out of that. I cannot stand those bits.
Terry Crews immediately put me into it, because I love me some Terry Crews.
I was going to say, I love Crackdown. Like, the first one, the second one, no. I mean, I'm kind of everyone's opinion on that.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm really excited about Crackdown 3.
No, to be honest, like, I hate bits like Terry Crews did, but I'm excited for Crackdown.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like what the first Crackdown did well, but, amped up.
Yeah.
2014.
Oh, it was
2013.
14. Okay.
Boom. Yeah.
I think they might have shown off just, like, Crackdown footage, like, just, like, after they showed, like, the big names and stuff like that, where it was just, like, flashing, like, game, and it was like, oh, that looked cool, like, what was that one?
Yeah.
But they officially did it when Phil Spencer took over, and he was like, one of my favorite franchises from Xbox, Crackdown, and then it talked about the whole cloud and everything, and all the bells and whistles and stuff. And yeah, now Old Spice, so.
The disc is actually going to be scented.
I'm alright with that.
Anyways.
What else we got?
It was kind of obvious, but we were kind of iffy on it a little bit. It felt like Metro, and it turned out to be Metro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it felt kind of like it could have been something else, like a new IP or something. But we're getting a new Metro game, and it looked If that
Pretty
was
neat.
the game engine, if that was actual in-game footage, holy crap. Like, that was one of the best
looked
looking
amazing,
games
yeah.
so far that they've shown off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really good.
I mean, I have no real... Metro is one of those franchises I just haven't got into, but
same
that looked
here.
pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's... I've seen the concept of it. I've seen some YouTube gameplay footage of it and everything like that. I just never really got into the franchise. I don't... Like, I may check this one out and play it a little bit, or if you get a copy of it, then I'll probably just come over and watch you play it or something like that. But I don't see myself day one, like, holy crap, gotta do the midnight and pick this up and play it nonstop. Just... It never really had that, like, you need to buy this now, like, play it, sell your soul, like some other things have holds on me.
I mean, it looks fun.
It does.
Really
It's
cool
just-
art
It looks
style,
interesting, yeah.
Or not art style, graphic. It's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try it out. It may not be something I spend a lot of time with, but I'll definitely give it the old looky loo.
Yeah.
And then we have Cuphead finally getting a release date as well.
Finally, man.
Good
That one I
Lord.
think was 2013 as
Yeah.
well. Like, that was a launch thing,
We've
like
been
ID,
watching that one
Xbox,
for a
and
while, yeah.
I mean,
That one's almost frustrating because it's like it's a digital game. Like
This
like-
game better be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, like I love the art style of it. I love the concept, but it's been way too long since you
Yeah.
announced it.
yeah, I know that there are a few people that I think I missed it when it first came out. So it was like, oh, are you gonna get Cuphead? Like, are you gonna get that when it comes out? And it was like, what is it? It looked cool. And then it just kind of, like, turned into one of those things that, you know, like Duke Nukem, where it was just, like, there, and then it just...
development limbo.
Yeah, it just, like, nobody talked about it for a while, and it was like, that's still coming, right? And then you'd see, like, a little promo video, like, hey, look at this 15-second clip. Like, it's in the works, and now that's coming out as well, so...
Yeah, finally.
And then new title, which I did a little look up on and everything, because we haven't seen too much of the gameplay. I don't know if they've uploaded any more or anything, but the Code Vein game.
Yeah, buddy.
Is that
That game looks really cool.
The
That's
anime
the anime
vampire
Yeah,
Dark
the
Souls,
anime,
yeah.
like, vampire RPG thing or whatever.
Looks kind of
Um,
Dark Souls-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my first thought. I'm like, man, From Software on an Xbox console?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But dude, that game looked awesome.
Yeah.
that's my style right there. Like
kind
that's
of
the
a
stuff I
really
like.
neat blend of how they kind of incorporated it, you know? Because it didn't, like, at first, it didn't look very anime, and then you'd, like, it'd cut to, like, an actual character, and then it looked pretty,
Yeah,
like, anime,
pretty
and
dang
then
anime.
it, like, cut back to, like, Dark
Yeah.
Souls style. I'm like, dang.
That's honestly first thing I saw. Is I was like, just based on some of the weapons I saw, I was like, oh okay, like God Eater 3.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
But
The-
then like when it showed like the actual combat, I was just like, dude, this looks pretty fun.
Yeah, the gameplay of it looked like the way he did the dodge roll and everything like that, and did a couple hits and rolled back and everything like that. It was like, oh, this is another Dark Souls style game or
Yeah.
whatever, and then it, like, got super anime and, like, more action-packed, and it was like,
Mhm.
like, what is this? So,
Yeah,
hopefully, we'll be able to find some actual gameplay videos of it and see, like,
right.
the actual... Because they didn't show too much of it, because, I mean, Xbox showed, what, like 40-some games total,
Yeah,
and 20 of them...
22.
Yeah, and then 21 of them were supposed to be... 22, yeah. So half of it was supposed to be Xbox exclusive style games, which is funny that they say that, because I guess now when they say Xbox exclusive, it's also PC.
Yeah, because they're
So-
trying to push that, like, Play Anywhere thing, where
Yeah.
Windows 10 is a big part of Xbox now, so...
And then speaking of Dark Souls and all of that stuff, kind of a little bit of a surprise, that Dissidia game that's coming out. Like, that kind of just came out of nowhere of like, that looks like Final Fantasy? Wait, no.
Yeah, we-
because Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo were there and everything, and it was like...
Yeah, Team Ninja, that's the first thing that got my attention. I was like, okay, are we finally getting a hack and slash game?
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, like, yeah, this is going to be something, and then it looked Final Fantasy style, you know, and Square Enix was there, but that, like, when I saw Team Ninja, if, like, Square Enix was out the door, I was like, okay, whatever, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is Team Ninja, like, huh. And then it looked like Cloud's face was somewhere on the left side, and I was like, that
And a
That looks
character
like
named
kind of Cloud,
Materia. Yeah.
but it says Nameless Soldier or whatever. Like, that's
Yeah.
weird. And then, like, Cloud showed up as a playable character with his Buster Sword, and I was like, oh dang, and then it started showing summons and stuff, and it was like, oh god, oh yep, nope, this is Dissidia, like it's kind of fun, but it's a very weird concept that
It looked kind of neat, but then the more you saw it, and the guy they interviewed
that wasn't Xbox.
That was like between,
yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that later, but
do we have to?
No,
I mean
pretty
that's
passable.
That's pretty.
And then we have Super Lucky Tail, or the kid-friendly Conquer, as it looked like.
I'm going to call it the Sierra game.
Yeah.
That little squirrel thing popped up, and we all thought it. It was like, holy crap!
I was like, is that Conquer? Yeah.
Conquer? Like, wait, no, he's not cursing or anything like that. It's not. Oh, that's not Conquer, huh?
Wait, he's actually being cute. Is Conquer gonna kill him?
There's no poo monster.
That was my first thought, but also Conquer started out as a cutesy game.
Yeah. But that game looked really, really cool.
It looks cool. It's kind of nice that it isn't something like State of Decay 2, which we'll get into, where it's just a mature-rated F-bomb this, everything, nudity, like Grand Theft Auto and everything like that. Whenever Timmy, the 6-year-old, tells Mom, I want to go buy a game, and then she comes in and she's like, I would like this, and then we have to explain, like, oh, like, is this for you? Like, oh, no, he's 7. Well, you know that, like, you beat somebody to death with a baseball bat, their brains are on the floor, and then you take their money and run off. And it's like, oh, no, he didn't tell me that. Like, oh, well, he's 6. Like, what game should he play? And it's like, well, it's Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot. You've got your Lego games, yay, which are a lot of fun, like, don't get me wrong, but there's just not too many things that look universally playable for kids and adults to do. But, I mean, this looks like
looks pretty neat.
It looks kind of like Yooka-Laylee and Banjo-Kazooie, where it's just a platforming action game that is going to be fun.
It's probably good that it wasn't Rare either, because it would have just kept getting compared to either Banjo-Kazooie or Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah. And then, of course, State of Decay 2. It was announced, which I wasn't a terrible big fan of the first one. Video game sequels tend to be a little bit better, kind of, most of the time, so we'll see what they improve on.
I'm just kind of over those kind of, like, collect, survive, collect.
If we're getting a new zombie game, Chris is with me on this one, it needs to be Left 4 Dead 3.
Yes.
I want something more arcadey than these, like, just survival games where you're building up your base, you're collecting supplies, you've got to survive for a certain amount of time. There's just so many of them out right now.
And then Chris kind of brought it up earlier, which has been another game that was kind of in development limbo, and was originally, I guess, only for PC. It was Fortnite, where it's kind of that gather resources and build up your fort and everything like that. So it feels Minecraft-y, but...
Oh, yes.
But zombie survival as well, where it's like, oh, you found this thing, like, defend it and everything like that, so build these turrets and everything like that, and get, like, super creative with it and build traps and everything, and then there are, like, side quests and stuff like that where you have to go save civilians or whatever for extra points and resources or whatever, and then there's your tier upgrades and stuff like that. Like, you've got wood walls and then stone walls and steel walls and stuff like that. So, surprise that that's coming out next month on PS4 and Xbox One as well. So, I mean, out of nowhere, like, I felt like we didn't really hear anything about it for a while, except for PC stuff, and then they just came out, and they were just like, boom, all systems. Like, we're going.
Right.
So.
Well, a couple things they said about it real quick. It's going to go free to play next year.
Yeah.
So you buy it now, you're like one of the early adopters or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they called it. So I think we'll get more stuff, and then it'll be free to play
next
year.
I think it'll be free to play, but for those that actually go out and buy it when it goes free to play, I think you get some extra stuff with it and everything like that or whatever. Or, like, you get it when you buy it, and then people that play free to play, I guess, don't get it unless they pay for it or something.
Who knows? So, I mean, whatever. I'm gonna pick it up. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'd like to do, once we get it and we play some on it, I'd like to do something about it and talk more about it. once we actually have it in our
It was
hands.
something that when they first showed it off, I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And then they were like, PC only. And I was just like, well,
Oh.
I'm done.
Wah, wah.
A few other things. Assassin's Creed came back.
Yeah, I think their time off really helped them. Like, this game looks much more polished.
It does
than,
look very cool.
It looks beautiful. It seems to be you're fighting not just people, but it seems they suggested like some big monstrous boss battles.
Some basilisk creature in the, I guess, pyramids or something
And
like
it looks
that.
like they've made some like gameplay improvements too.
Yeah.
So.
And Egyptian
fighting mechanics looks
mythology and
really
everything
cool.
like that, I've enjoyed for a while and everything like that, like with Greek mythology, so it's cool to see God of War go there and everything, but to have this game in Egypt, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
To become a hawk or whatever and like mark your targets that way, and then the arrow that kind of curved with it as if you could control it when you shot it and stuff
Max
like
Payne
that.
style.
A more RPG element to it and
Yeah,
everything like that.
your
Finding...
equipment like matters. You know, in games.
Yeah, it didn't seem like Brotherhood, where it's like you just had all this monotonous equipment.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
build a Monopoly, buy this clothing store, and then upgrade it to get so much more money, and then just go out and buy the best pistol and everything like that. It looks like it's going to be kind of a maybe find materials, build a good weapon, and then like get upgrades for it, or like loot a body and get a lucky drop and get the I guess like
cool.
rare or
Kinda
uncommon kind of bow and everything like that, which had its bonuses like HP on kill or whatever, and then like assassination bonuses and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's
I
pretty
told my brother about it after watching, because he's a diehard Assassin's Creed fan. Like any new Assassin's Creed, you know, he's like he just gets it for Christmas. That's his Christmas present. Yeah. That's usually when it comes out. And I told him about it, and he was like, cool, I'll have to check it out. What did you think? LOL. Because he knows that that's just not... I don't really dig Assassin's Creed, and I was like, I think it looks amazing. And he's like, are you actually going to get it? And I was like, yeah, I probably am. And he's like, crap, I'm going to have to check this out.
No, I really got to look into
it. There may be some more stuff out on it now. Is it going to have any kind of co-op feature and everything like that? I know that's maybe what killed Unity, that they try to jam-pack it with co-op and multiplayer and stuff like that. So
honestly, I think leave it as a single player.
Yeah.
I mean, I like multiplayer. I like playing with my buddies.
Back to the roots.
But
But there's some games that just it doesn't work.
And I didn't play Unity or anything like that, so I don't know how well it actually... I know, like, I mean, it was just terrible at launch and everything like that, but I don't know how smoothly it went with playing with multiple people. But to have that concept, and, like, us just sitting here now, like, we could be sitting at home in Egypt, like, just fighting a giant snake, like...
Yeah.
So it seems like it'd be a cool concept if it has anything to, like, oh, if we do that, the game could break, then don't mess with it. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not a need thing, it's a... That's kind of cool. Like, I'd like to kind of do that with you guys.
Yeah.
Another little surprise thing that made the three of us, not you so much, I guess, because you don't care about it too much, or was too terribly excited, was the Dragon Ball game that they showed off.
Yeah, that looked really good.
It looked great, don't get me wrong. AIM's a 2D fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I like 2D fighters over 3D fighters.
Looks very fast paced. Looks like it controls a lot like Marvel vs. Capcom, or just something.
Yeah, I like the art style. It looks more hand drawn than kind of like the weird 3D cell shaded kind of thing.
I mean, it looks like you're watching an episode.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
the whole thing looked like a cutscene. So I mean, you guys are much more versed in the mythology of Dragon Ball than I will ever be. But I will say, just as a casual,
which would be a good episode.
Oh yeah.
I can be the dumb guy being like, "What's this?"
Well,
and
Dragon
Ball.
I'm sorry to like right after you say that kind of X you out of the conversation for a sec.
Go for it.
But seeing Super Saiyan 3 go against Gold Frieza, like, looks like we're gonna cover all our bases here.
Yeah,
dude, my mind exploded.
It was.
I was gonna say, like, we could have kept going and like no one would know the difference.
It was weird that we saw Gold Frieza, but we didn't see Super Saiyan God, did we? We
didn't see. He was just fighting 3.
Yeah.
So like the second I saw Gold Frieza, I was like, okay, where's Black Goku?
Yeah.
Because I know that he's got some figures coming out here.
Yeah.
Within the next few months, so like he's kind of got his own fan base now. So you know, like I can see him in the game, but it was really cool how like, and it really appealed to like the kid in you, because it shows Super Saiyan 1 fighting Frieza, and then it shows Cell fighting Gohan. Gohan.
It showed the big final, 30 episode after they're screaming and talking about their feelings and everything like that they did the fights with Teen Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 and Majin Buu and Super Saiyan and Goku and everything like that. So it was like, oh crap, yes. And then it showed the Gold Freeze, and it was like, not only is this... it's not just going to be a rehash of, hey, here's the 10 Dragon Ball Z characters you always play as, and, it goes all the way up to the Cell games, have fun and everything like that. It wasn't just a rehash of, yep, there's the old stuff. It showed a little bit of the new stuff, so...
Mm-hmm. And, we were actually talking about that. It looked very, very Switch-friendly.
Yeah.
So, a part of me wants to play it on the Switch.
Yeah, that, I mean, I'll play it on the Xbox, but that's a game with it being the 2D side-scrolling fighter like that seems like a game that we can take the Switch and then undock it and just hand each other a Joy-Con and just go at it. Mm-hmm. And it not be something like Ultimate Tenkaichi or something, or not Ultimate, but Xenoverse or something like that. That's a little more complex to do since it's a 3D fighter. But I did not expect to see it. A new DBZ game like that so quickly, since I know that they're still doing DLC and everything like that for Xenoverse 2 and everything. So
plus, we're pretty sure we're getting a Switch version of Xenoverse 2. So.
Yeah, so to get a Xenoverse 3 before 2 even came out on the Switch, that'd kind of just kill that. He'd be like, hey, you can finally get that one, and then 6 months later, here's 3. Get ready for the sequel. You got something there, Chris?
Nope.
Okay.
But it looked very 2D fighter. It didn't look like Budokai at all. It looked like it controlled very, very
for a
streamlined.
second before it showed Gold Freeze and everything like that, with it being the 2D fighter, I thought we were getting a final release of the Ultimate Fighter 22 or something like that or whatever. That wasn't officially released in America or whatever, so I thought they were finally hey, we're gonna polish this up and then add some new stuff to it or anything like that. And then Gold Frieza showed up, and it was
what?
Brand new Dragon Ball game, not some westernized hey, you know what, DBZ's finally super popular there, we revived it, it's got a new series going, let's give them one of our games that never released there. And then really that was, I guess we didn't talk about Anthem, did we? I was I guess that's it from the Xbox, but it...
Yeah.
Third-person shooter action game, which, I mean, RPG elements, because it's BioWare.
I just still don't know what to think of it. It didn't look like anything special to me, art design-wise.
I mean, it looked like Titanfall meets Destiny meets Iron Man. We know so little. That one trailer did not show much. I mean, it looks cool, I guess.
The big problem I'm seeing is that a lot of people already are relating it to Destiny, and we haven't even seen enough to say that it's anything like Destiny. So, I don't want people to be oh, it's just a Destiny clone. No, it's not. People just threw out the name Destiny, really, really fast.
I guess the way, the gameplay started off of... You've got your hub, the tower or whatever, and then you select, hey, we're going to go explore this area or whatever, and then it's just kind of a linear thing of, you have so many side quests to do here, you can find materials or whatever, because it was one of those things that they didn't show too much of, so they really didn't have a HUD of, an EXP bar, any kind of soup or anything like that, but it was a third-person shooter that you could play with your friends that... It's an RPG element to it, because, I mean, it's a BioWare game, so it may have those morale choices and stuff like that of, do you want to kick the kid down, or do you want to pick him up? Do you want to be good or bad? It's too early to tell what they're going to have, but what we can kind of probably expect from them.
Yeah, and I think we'll see more on it, and, a little bit we've seen, I'm cautiously optimistic. So what we've seen so far... is enough to pique my interest, but we will we'll see. Have to see. So
it's something that if it is like Destiny, we play a lot of Destiny together, so it's going to be something that we'll have fun playing together anyway. So so that was really about it for the Microsoft part.
Yeah.
What would you rate it, Chris?
I'd give it a 3. Nothing just blew my mind, but nothing disappointed me like greatly. So
Yeah.
it was okay.
I'll probably give it a 3. Like, I didn't see anything that... It definitely sold me on an X and an S.
Yeah.
So, like, I definitely want an Xbox now just based on the games that are going to be coming out. Some of the games, like, honestly, if they're not exclusive, then I, won't worry about them too much. But the games that are exclusive, I don't want to miss out on. So, like, and that, I mean, it pretty much sold me on them. So, I'm down with it. So I'm going to give it a 3.
And again, it's another soft 3. This is because with Xbox, I'm going to judge it harder than an EA.
Right.
There's just nothing there that, of course, got me excited. None of the exclusives really got me excited. It's just kind of a bland conference.
So far, yeah.
I thought it was paced well, like the conference itself, like the production values, great. But announcement-wise, besides the Xbox original games coming out, being backwards compatible, other than that,
Glad you brought that up.
nothing else was there that just made me like, man, I am excited to own an Xbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a soft 3, almost a 2.9.
I'd probably be a little more generous, like 3.5, maybe 4, just because they showed off so many games that like that's what E3 is games. So I was excited that they came out, they talked a little bit, they were like, this is Xbox One X, and then they just games, and then they had someone come out and talk a little bit, and then it was just more games, and then there were some surprises and stuff like that, like the Dragon Ball game and everything, and the Assassin's Creed, and then like that backwards compatibility, it's the Crimson Skies or something or whatever that.
Oh yeah, the backwards compatible thing was pretty great.
I never played that game on original Xbox. Like I said, if they get Gauntlet: The Dark Legacy, I'll be all over that. Like, holy crap! Like, that'll be the best backwards compatibility thing that they can do for original Xbox for me.
Yeah, give me Munch's Odyssey and I'll be happy.
Yeah. So, I'd a 3.5 to somewhere to a 4 just because this is what we've got now. It may change when Sony comes out and drops the mic and see what they announce for their games and everything like that, and then it could even change when Nintendo comes out, because we got kind of a cool thing from Bethesda tonight in regards to the Switch and everything like that. So when Nintendo comes out on the floor and they're like, these are all our games, then this Xbox conference can go to a 2. I think I'll reevaluate. Like, nope, because now we get new Zelda games. Yeah. So we'll see what everyone else has got, but as of right now, I'm kind of hyped for all of these things. I'm weary of them because we have been burned before and everything, but as of right now, Sea of Thieves, the way that, like, the gameplay that they showed for that just looked fantastic. That, it's just something that
it appealed to us.
Yeah, it appealed to us. Just like they showed so many multiplayer games, and it's like, hey guys, we know that there are groups of you guys out there that like to hang out every Sunday night and everything like that. Here are some games for you guys to play now for Xbox. And it was like, yes, like that's something that we need to do now. Like that is something that we need to add to our agenda. So now we go on to Bethesda, which we thought started at 9 p.m.
Started at 11
our time. Yeah.
thanks to Chris and his overly optimistic view, but turned out to be 11 o'clock. So
oh boy, and that was not worth waiting for.
So it was a bit of a wait.
In the sake of time, can we all just like do a wrap up of just the conference?
I mean, there wasn't too much. They are trying a failed plan again, paid mods like that.
Which
didn't work before for them.
You got a huge flack when you did that with Skyrim. Why try again?
Yeah. With the exact same game.
Yeah.
Fallout this time.
And Fallout. So Fallout's going to be the thing that saves it then. Like, surely because it failed with Skyrim, Fallout will make it suffice.
Yeah.
And then
the VR stuff.
Yeah, we got the VR. So Doom's getting a VR.
And don't get excited that you can get the PlayStation VR and be happy. I think it's a Vive exclusive, which means you're already going to have to spend $600 on the headset itself, plus probably a $1,200 to $1,500 rig just to
Right.
run the bare minimums of it.
And then Fallout on VR and everything, which it looks like it's something cool to do, but like they showed in that Doom game, it looks like it's going to get very disorienting very quick. Of you're surrounded by demons, shoot, and then I have to like teleport, walk over here, and turn around and look this way, and there's something flying right at me, and I
can't go running around the room. You know?
Yeah, like it's not like I can just keep running. It's a click, move over here, and everything.
I think this one you're gonna more control with the joystick.
Yeah.
It's one of those you'll be sitting down, but you'll be more immersed into it. But again, it's something that if you don't already have a setup for a Vive,
It's gonna get very expensive.
You're not gonna do this.
Yeah. And the Wolfenstein game looked kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked kind of cool. I didn't play the first Wolfenstein, so...
Well,
played it for all but maybe like 30 minutes.
I mean, you know what, the last Wolfenstein I played was Wolfenstein 3D for, like, DOS.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I never played the newer one, so I've got no frame of reference there.
Right.
It was cool in the last one that they did. They had Easter eggs or whatever that you found these beds that you went to sleep in, and it made you play a retro level of Wolfenstein. Like it was the whole secret wall here and everything like that. So if you knew the secrets of like the original Wolfenstein, it gave you some like extra health and armor and like, hey, here's an extra like super shotgun, like and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I just never really fully got into it and played a lot of it. And it was kind of weird. I didn't catch on to it as quick until like right after you said something, and like they were flipping through like these retro TV show things and stuff like that, and it was like, is this German or not or whatever, and it was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't get it at first.
What are we getting? And then you were like, oh, Wolfenstein, and I was like, yeah, like they like it was all German reference stuff, so like Nazis, here we go again, like so. Little ashamed that I didn't catch on to that one as quick because all these other games that they were showing off, it was like, oh, that's what that is. That's what that is. Like, yes.
Yeah.
And I guess the last big thing for it was Skyrim that they showed off for the Switch and everything like that, which they didn't show off too much. The one thing that they did show was that it's going to be Amiibo compatible now.
Yeah, Amiibo support.
For all those lucky people that have the Breath of the Wild Amiibos, get to tap it on there and get a Master Sword and a Hylian Shield, which obviously made me crap my pants because I've talked to some people and like if we could get a Destiny game on the Switch and get like a Samus blaster for a rocket launcher or something like that, or shoot bullet bills, like all the crossover references that they could do with third-party games and stuff like that, if Nintendo gave them a little support to like add the Nintendo flair to it. Holy crap.
I'm just a little afraid that this is going to be another $60 version of Skyrim.
Oh, absolutely, it's going to be $60.
But then again, like, you can go to, you know, either the PC version or the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 one, and download the mods for the Master Sword, the shield.
Right.
I guarantee
Quit trying to take away, this away from the audience.
Quit making perfect sense.
I guarantee you, by the end of tonight, somebody will have, you know, the new Breath of the Wild, like, armor set.
Yeah.
You know.
Already got it, bro.
So I keep going back and forth. Yeah, this is kind of cool, and it'd be cool to have Skyrim in a perfect portable form. But again, I don't know if it's worth $60.
Right.
Yeah.
And other than that, what there was...
I guess it was the last big thing. They did announce the sequel to Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
Which looked...
terrifying. Like
it
looks really scary.
It looked crazier than the first one did, for sure.
I never played the first one. I own it. I have a sealed copy of it. Haven't opened it. Was really interested, and then all of a sudden I lost interest.
I thought it was Silent Hill. Like
it felt very Resident Evil 4-esque, but I just like it grabbed onto me for like a day or two, and I played it. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, like this kind of has a Resident Evil feel vibe to it, but it's more of like a psychological thriller thing, and then it just kind of like, and you're done. And I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. And I mean, other games were coming out, so it was like, oh, this is do I want to play this game that's kind of moderately entertaining, or do I want to go play this multiplayer game with everybody and have fun with everybody?
Right.
So, but overall on Bethesda
sucked.
Bethesda was pretty lackluster, especially since last year they had a party and everything like that. Like, it was more of a big event and everything like that. People walking around with the turkey legs and everything.
Well, and that was part of their after show. Really, last year Bethesda kind of sucked. Really, the big thing was Doom, but other than that, it wasn't all that good. This year was especially bad. It didn't even need a full conference. It could have tacked on to other people.
Half of it were games that were already out.
Yeah.
Because, it was like, what?
Dishonored DLC as well, and then
Elder Scrolls Online.
The card game for Elder Scrolls.
Just a lot of things I don't care about. You could have tacked it on somewhere else. Or released it in a trailer or a footnote
they could have split it up half and half, or I guess 3 ways. A little bit with Microsoft, a little bit with Sony, and then given the VR stuff to the PC gaming show.
Yeah.
And been like, hey, there you guys go. I mean, the last couple of times, like the after parties and stuff like that with them, like, it seems like it's been an event, and this one just felt like it was just like, I mean, we did it the past couple years, guys. We have to keep doing it. Like, let's not be a part of everybody else. Like, let's do our own thing. And it just felt like, just, eh.
Yeah, so overall, man,
I'd give it like a 1.5 or.
I don't even want to put it on the board because that Bethesda conference sucked.
Stinker. A 1.8.
What about your Bethesda feelings, Chris?
A 2, strictly for the Master Sword in Skyrim. There you go.
While you were away saving Gotham, Augie brought to the point of that somebody could already have made that into a mod.
Well, the Master Sword and the Shield have been a mod since it came out on PC.
And they even said at the live show, like, yeah, I can already do that. And, with Xbox One having mods, I'm sure it's on there. But what excites me is what else there could be. Yeah. Is that the only amiibo that we can use? Are there other aspects? Is this going to have more than just an aesthetic, effect? Is it actually going to do something
If I have full health, will I get to shoot a sword beam out?
Yeah, so...
I mean, just... My only complaint is the price tag. Is $60 going to be justified by that?
For me, yes. For most people, no. Because I haven't played much of it, so... But, I mean, really, it's the first 2 days of E3.
So far, not super, I'm super pumped,
Yeah. So, super quick. Of everything we've seen, what's the thing you like the most?
Sea of Thieves, I think.
So. Yeah.
I think that and that Dragon Ball game, and then the
Code Vein.
I mean, it looks cool, but I think I'm gonna go with Crackdown 3. I think those things are probably what's kind of got me hyped the most out of it. And it definitely makes me feel like with all the games that Microsoft showed off, what's Sony going to show off? Because I know a lot of people have been predicting that Sony's going to have the best show. So I really want to see, I know you're excited for Days Gone.
Oh, yes, very much so.
I'm ready to see what they're going to start pumping out to kind of counteract the 1X and stuff.
With Sony, I'm a little concerned they showed off too much last year. So we're just going to get expanded versions of what we saw last year. But which is good because they showed off a lot of cool things.
So I'm ready to see some more gameplay footage of it and everything like that, and get a little more info on the things that they showed off last year. And then I'm really, really excited for Nintendo to take the floor and just hopefully just decimate everybody.
I'm concerned. Especially with
that Pokemon Nintendo Direct that was 8 minutes long. That was just
now we're
giant...
only getting a 30-minute video with some stuff peppered through a treehouse. I'm so worried right now for Nintendo.
Metroid, come on.
Apparently it's going to be 30 minutes, just boom, 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 boom. So, 30 seconds clip. We could get some decent stuff, but we will see, and we'll definitely be back in the next couple days to talk about some more E3 stuff. Obviously, we've still got 3 days of it, so this won't be the last that you hear from us on E3, but
Absolutely, and we covered the last E3, which basically means that this podcast has at least been going on for a year.
it has been going on for a year now.
Thank you guys very much for sticking around, the people that have stuck around with us. Thanks for, believing in what we're doing, and hopefully we're just going to keep going, to infinity and beyond. Because, it took us a year, but we got other shows coming up. You may have noticed that we're only rocking it on YouTube now. That is going to change, but we decided to strictly just kind of go with YouTube and kind of do stuff right in-house at our Facebook and our YouTube account. So, no more, don't worry about, going to SoundCloud. Yeah, I mean, you can go there and look at our past stuff, but we're not going to be posting any more stuff on there. Nothing happened. We just decided to go other ways. So, but thank you guys so much for sticking around. Thank you guys so much for the views. Thank you so much for the subscribes, likes, and we're going to bring you content as much as we can hash it out. There's a lot of stuff on this old YouTube, so hopefully we'll be able to get your attention just as much as the next guy. And we have some more Under the Cowl videos that are in the works right now, actually. So
and then we have something else, not an unboxing or a podcast or an Under Cowl coming away, but something that I think you'll find very entertaining if you're into comics. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have an announcement on that pretty soon. And stick with us. And hey, if there's something you want to hear us talk about, leave it in the comments. If there's something that that you're interested in and you want to hear more about it, or if there's a certain character that you would like us to do an Under the Cowl on,
yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, we feed on your feedback. There you go.
What little there is right
yes.
now. But
hey, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and I can't wait till next year when we're like, we've been doing this for 2 years, we've been doing this for 3 years.
We now have 67 views.
Yay!
Guys, Under the Cowl 53 got 400 views this time.
Wow! Hey, you know what? If one person finds it entertaining and learns something, then that's all that matters.
No, then our job has been done.
True story.
I feel like we're going good places right now. So,
I think so. But hey.
But thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much for your continued support.
Thank you for everybody newcomers,
yeah.
who found us through.
Welcome in. Stay a while.
Yeah. You've already stayed for an hour and a half. So
yeah.
What's another 30 seconds? But on that note, we're going to let you guys have your day back and or night, whatever time it is as you're listening to this. And we will... I said it, and I know why I said it. Don't look at me like that. Alright? It just came out. Don't judge me. So, we will leave you guys in peace, and we will talk to you all very soon. As always, I'm Chris.
Cody.
August.
Mike.
And court is adjourned.
Keep the red phone ringing.